various people on this show who will tell you about what life is really like for Christians in Islamic countries. And please don't dismiss this as propaganda. I know that in North America, people who assume, sort of pretend to be Christians are the majority. But if you are a serious, genuine worshipper, follower of Christ, in much of the Islamic world, the communist world, it's a living hell. It is a daily hell. Whatever your religion, if you care about justice, please watch this show and embrace some of what we're telling you. Reverend Majed El-Shafie joins us, been on the show many times before. Always a great pleasure, sir.
It's a pleasure.
You've had to sit and listen to that monologue. I do apologize, but
enjoyed it.
Well, you've lived it. You've lived it. For those people who say, oh, it can't be that bad, is it that bad?
I was tortured back home in Egypt. I was persecuted. I was sentenced to death penalty. I had to escape out of Egypt, and I came here as a landed political refugee from the United Nations and Amnesty International, and Canada became my home.
And that was before the Muslim Brotherhood. That was in relatively secular times.
Absolutely, and I am considered one of the lucky ones, if we say. There is many Christians. For example, there is in our world today, there is one persecuted Christian every 3 minutes worldwide. Last year, over 165,000 Christians was killed for their faith, between 200 to 300 million persecuted Christians worldwide.
165,000 Christians were killed just for their faith
just last year.
And between 200 and 300 million face active persecution on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
Do you know, a lot of people watching will say, no, I don't believe that. That can't be true. You know, it's Muslims who are persecuted. It's gays who are persecuted. They'll think you're lying.
Well, if they think that I'm lying, I will invite them to go to countries like Pakistan, Iraq, and just walk in the street and tell everybody, common person in the street, I'm a Christian, see how they will be reacting to you. Like, you know, it's not about words, put it in an action. I testified in front of the Human Rights Subcommittee many times. I presented the evidence to the Congress, to our Canadian Parliament. Here is the sad reality. Christmas season is a wonderful season to us in North America. Time for trees and Santa Claus and buying gifts by money that we don't have to people even we don't like. But that's the truth. Christmas in the Middle East or China or the people where persecution is the worst season, is the attack season. That's from December 25 to January 7. Remember that some Christians celebrate Christmas in January 7.
Orthodox Christians, yeah.
Absolutely. From this period, that's what we call it in our organization, the attack season.
The attack season.
Last year, Christians was attacked in 18 countries. This year, because the Arab Spring, we're expecting Christians to be attacked in 28 countries.
That's just what you just said. People need to realize this. 18 countries before the Arab Spring. After the Arab Spring, it goes up to 28.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. One of the highlight countries that we're expecting to be attacked is Nigeria, for example. This will be the top of the list. From Nigeria to Egypt, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, China, North Korea. This is just a quick, you know. While we're sitting down here, and this is just the truth, and in Canada, thank God we don't have similar persecution or anything like this in Canada, but even here in Canada, we can see, now we cannot say to each other, Merry Christmas. Last week, I was in Ottawa, everybody was telling me Happy Holiday. And I told him, it's not Happy Holidays, it's Merry Christmas. Oh, we cannot say this anymore. Why? Like, that's Christmas, that's my Christmas.
But that compared to someone taking a knife to your throat or hitting you over the head with a hammer.
Absolutely. But even here in Canada, we're not 100% like, you know what I mean? Like, we cannot say Merry Christmas. We cannot, you know, you can.
It is incredible how, I don't overreact to this, but when you find a store that actually says Merry Christmas on the window, it tends to go on Facebook because people are so surprised by it.
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous.
And you know what is really the sad reality? While we're debating here, if we say Happy Holiday or Merry Christmas, like I watch the people overseas, from Pakistan to Afghanistan to Iraq to Nigeria, they know that they will be attacked, and they still will go and march to their church. It's unbelievable faith.
Yeah.
And I have a friend of mine that was in a church in Nigeria that they will burn the church, he will still go. They will burn it again. He said, well, at least if something happened to me, I will be spending Christmas with the Lord.
Let me ask you about Syria, because I don't quite understand American foreign policy. Now, I'm not a fan of President Assad. That his father was a dictator, he's a dictator. He's not a sadist, he's not Saddam Hussein, but if you get in the way, you'll be arrested and you'll be in trouble. But he did give protection to religious minorities and Christians. You could say, well, he's playing a game, he's dividing to conquer, he's part of a religious minority anyway. But I've met Syrian Christians, most beautiful people, who will say, you know, the police will be outside making sure we were safe to go to Christmas services. Many of the police will be Muslim, but they make sure we were protected. We felt completely at home, part of Syrian society. So many have left now. They've gone to Jordan. Others are planning to come to North America.
Absolutely.
This is terrible. Syria's being destabilized. The West are helping the forces who are trying to get rid of Assad. And one of the results will be probably a huge number of Christians fleeing for their lives.
Absolutely. And let me just make it clear. We are against dictatorship. We are against the President Bashar al-Assad. The problem, like Christians enjoy protection in Syria, enjoy protection in Iraq during Saddam Hussein. Yeah. So what's happening here? Why? The reason that Christians always didn't have any hidden agenda. They have no desire for power. So they always they are simple people, they just want to work, they want to go to their churches, they never made any kind of trouble. And that's why the regime always kind of protected them, you know, like they didn't cause any trouble. Yeah. What's happening right now, that the people that taking after the regime, when you have a dictatorship collapse, you create a political vacuum, the extremists is the most organized group. Yeah. They take over. And the extremists right now, first of all, Christians to them is unholy, is infidel, is traitor. They are from the religion of the West. Number two, they are targeted because they always been spoiled by the regime. So this is as a punishment for them. But the truth and the reality that the persecution and right now, even before Bashar al-Assad collapsed, we are seeing right now evidence of persecution of Christians in Syria.
Exactly. You know, we have to end on this, but how ironic. They see the religion of the West, Christianity, Jerusalem, Damascus, this whole area, Islam, 700 years later, it's from Arabia, a long way away. If anything is a foreign imposed religion, it's Islam and not Christianity. Merry Christmas, my friend.
Merry Christmas.